Atlen kun shish denye jini. Ya woosh ʼadulḥáayi t'áa. Ya awa achtu asagu yata adata we you agachtu ʼatángi. Chagachtu yech away. Ha you ʼatángi. Sagutin aya ye jagachtu ne ya ha you ʼatángi t'áa. Ltakat yuhan. Ikun chish achtu asagu cho achi. Adeyi jini ya wait adat we alqa. Well, kunachwe ya wat la ka away dana du GKUT. Ya I deka kwaha ko I that itch a ko stasa dati to wasagu yeje tune. Ya naskia ach jiwu. Well ya the itch ko I deka kwanik dasa way. A du saksho du to wasagu ko hawakshi ye sene. Yi ʼatángi dasa kai shahid. Yi itqoha.
Yadukhat Adigan.
Wasawa Ichwadlak Tlingo Atling Dana Tatga Huachga Akuni.
Dasawa Kedli. Kasko de Hakuk TV Aktuasagu.
That was my line.
I thought we were doing both lines and you were going to do the next one.
What?
I do some beat.
Go for it, man. Just keep going.
Yekti. Aktuga Yeti. I guess.
Idana Aktuasagu Yesu Akoni.
Akoni.
Fine. Aktuga Yeti.
Chish. Ooch. Hold the band-aid off, no problem.
Echa gonna cheese. Kachona huke. Adusa itcho.
Kuchain, ka t'áa, ka Christian, and Kuchain, you be Jimmy. Yeah, what? Ka t'áa, Susie. Do you remember what our words were?
No, I'd seen you writing them down.
I'm not sure how my people are supposed to read the script.
Yeah, we probably should have done a Google Docs. Or I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna whisper it to you, and then you say it with feeling. Kudzagain yak hwadlak ladio bingo gao.
Okay, Hataga. Kudzidain Yahwatlaak. Where Yukon Ladio Bingo. Atlandana. Wadlaak.
Yak away, Jimmy. Shachyanach yakei huni. Ashachyanach ye huni. Achdushi. We achdana ye kuchte achjiwu.
Click. Woosh. Ach gas tuk yeti. Plech dan ach jiwu that.
Shtakat hooch awegi.
Kega at
Asha. Tasa way ye yis adi ihidi ye.
Kusha.
Okay. And you're supposed to say, you don't know. And then went to the store, remember?
We hundake hit it for good.
And you don't have any more. Who has your money now? Adulḳáayi dana jiwu.
We hundake hit it tea.
Oh,
Dana ye ujibu.
manasa we. Ishan. Which away?
Taye gank.
Ah.
Just taye gank. Taye gunch.
You get away. Kunash cheese huni.
Ik echt away, kan cheese Johan. Cheese. Tshiko. Ja, dat ga. Adusa. Adu itsakua ha.
Kashuk. All right. Person A, hataya, hataya, gunak yakwadlak. Somebody from group one. Thousand.
Kusuedana it for his.
Yake, Shakani Kugu, Western Auto.
Hooch away. Yeah.
Ayana, Weska sneak suck,
Ho.
Chitwa, we anigu, we ka shanak, Akwanai is cook eatly, itinakati. The sick one, the old man, he will die soon. He needs a TV too. Gusa akdana we ka shanak cook yak easily suck. Where's my money for the old man's TV?
You can't away cluckasach.
Okay, ga, kan is cheese. Zucker. Jakutake kutzeti. Kwalte hooch. Was that everybody? All the teams went? Okay. Goodness cheese.
Our team had one, but we didn't figure out a batting order.
Talk day.
What was the plot?
But you guys went though, or no? Gook.
Gook, 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 gook.
One thing, Herb.
Het gewoon klein biege. Je goed laak. Klein Dana.
Je kijk onze dane I jouw lak.
Oh. Janach Dana klei je goed laak. TV klein kakwa Huawei.
Ha. Iltli geet kunnach handse. Je oe. Zou toe he.
Je kwati ja idlaki pas he hes ja gi kwa.
Je kijk al cheese. Godesa. Dag toe at. Ganach at. Gai kach.
Was away ye ka.
Awkward silence.
Goodness, cheesh. I wrote some things in the chat, so I guess I'll ask you what they are. Achi kuk tunach adulḳáayi. Achi kuk tunach adulḳáayi.
Something about gambling through the music box, but I don't really know how exactly to translate that.
Yeah.
Is that like, I don't know what that is. Is that bingo? I don't know.
Yeah, that would be bingo through the radio.
Radio bingo.
Like they've got it in Canada. So I remember the first time I figured it out, I was driving back from Anchorage and real tired, and I was listening to the same. This was back when you had to put a CD in the thing, you know. And at the same CD, and everybody was sleeping, so I was like, "I'll just let's see what's on the radio." And they're like, B40, B40. Yeah. Okay, next one.
Hakusti awe.
Yeah, Hakusti.
KSC, where you do suck radio bingo.
Oh, yeah, okay. Radio bingo. Yeah, okay. And then woosh ach.
My pocket was hold.
Yeah, I got holy pockets.
I'm gonna see.
And then ʼadudli.átk. ʼadulḍáatlí.
Maybe that's your bingo marker.
Yeah, I would say that could be something. Usually we just say adulḳáayi, or people just say bingo, but that could be bingo. So it's like gambling, stamping on the paper, gambling. That's basically what it would be. And then I think we have adulḳáayi. But usually I think that was, I'll have to check. Adulḳáayi was rippies. So gotta make sure we got good names for all this different types of gambling. And stick gambling all has its own names too, which would be fun to bring that back in terms of the vocabulary for it. I know you'd say, I think you'd say tuk would be commanding someone to pick one, which is the same verb for shooting it with an arrow. Okay, that was fun. So I think we'll just sort of do stuff like that now and then, just make kind of fun, just exercises, practicing dialogues. So I've got 3 things for us tonight, and so we'll see how many we get to and we'll do choose your own adventure. So I've made a board game for verb conjugation that I think would be kind of fun to try out. I have an electronic version of it that we could field test for the first time. There's also the verb conjugation party that we left off last semester with the love verbs. And then there's Kahwanish Shkatniki. And then there's transcribing and translating George Davis.
Let's look at your board game.
Okay. So we're
And
gonna
one other thing, Kashka has been playing Slingo in Huna for years. So bingo can be Slingo.
Okay, gonna cheesh. Okay. Oh yeah, and we have a request to do a dialogue exercise. Let's do that first, and then I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay.
Away, gonna cheesh. Just a second here. Going for a screen share. Ashgay and I put together a dialogue last semester that we wanted to share with all of you. All right, yay wakshi ye de ye kukwasne. Screen share. Yistinge. Kashke yistinge. Gunalchish. Kashke yak satini. Wasa ieti.
Tlatwa sacha uche gunach cheese yak satini so wa ekwa wasa ieti.
Khat yak gunalchish.
Ja sayeda ine.
Awe sankas acht inye dak anedu kinach sh das tu chuch. Blonde Indian, you do a sock way chuch.
Kunach yak awa yak aktua sigru liak kwatu.
Dasa ye da ine.
Skunk akdat at kutziti nadisi in ye jachane ach ye jene stu aktu.
Ye away. Wasa do a sock way yisku ahlatu.
Shadek you do a sock. Look nach adich city ach Lingit skunwank was tian.
Gudesa wulsa yis ku duatin.
Colorado de kuchwatin a chuchin hasi ka duchana ye hasiti ha datchank kudziti de yagi kiswasukat ach awa hatua sigu ade kutuatini.
Wasa do a sock I dachkan.
Du Lingit say awa tlatsinki tla plate cock enach ember su you do a sock.
Du sayi achtu sagu.
What din sa chwana de cook 18.
Shakte ik desich.
Cake wak si ye ikasatin. No, iksatini. No, so let me say that again. Cake wak si ye ikasatini.
Wa edsu. Jinquachisten.
Galchish.
Ganalchish.
Oot.
Yakeha, ganalchish.
Yakewa.
Wow.
Yake, ketenke yishihito yukatank. Konacho yake. Klecha tuk archiwutsu. We puzzle shukwa. Yakutza gaze ach yishach yi the tea. Yakutza gaze ach yishach yi the tea.
Your thinking cap?
Yishach yi the tea. Y'all put on your thinking caps. Okay, okay, so we are going to try this thing out. There might be some bugs, so bear with me. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Try it out. It might ask you, you shouldn't have to sign up for anything. It should just magically work somehow, but don't move any of the components yet, or else it'll get too messy. So see if you can go. I'll go there too, and we'll see if everybody ends up showing up. Oh, a visiting builder, a visiting innovator, visiting muralist. I was going to say muralit. Could have been a cheat. A pioneer. Okay. So while you all are clicking to see if it works, this is an interactive board. And so things are sort of designed in the order that they would appear. So you've got the preverb, the object, thematic prefixes in these three sections. They could be up to three of them. The conjugation prefixes, the subject, the classifier, stem variation, the suffix, and the postverb. There could be other stuff in front of the verb, but this is just sort of boiling it down to these components. So you can, there's kind of a lot of pieces here. Eventually there's going to be a physical board game as well with like little cardboard pieces you can lay down, but this is and I'm going to try out some other sort of platforms to see if there's ways to get this to work, but you should be able to, don't do it yet, but let me show you. I'll show you how this could work. So I could put a verb up here. ʼadulkszāyi. And then I've got the translation down here. And maybe sometimes I'll just put the Lingit up there. And maybe sometimes I'll just put the English down there. And you're going to have to construct it yourself. But we can't all grab it. And so we're going to have to take turns. But I'll do this first one. And I'll show you how I would think this could work. So I would drift over, and these are sort of organized. If you go to the left-hand side, you've got your preverbs, it's all color-coded, your objects, your thematic, your conjugation, your subject, your classifier. Go over here, you've got your stem, your suffix, your postverb. So what I'll do is I see ʼadulkszāyi. So I'm going to look for ʼade as a preverb. And these are alphabetized, so just alphabetize them. So here's ʼade, so I can drag this over to the preverb. So I've got that, and I'll go back and say, what comes next? U. This is a low tone U. There's a high tone and a low tone one. They are different. So I'm going to go look for U. It's right there. I don't see the high tone U, which is interesting. Oops. So then I'll put that one underneath. So ʼade U. And what am I going to look for next?
Something pink.
Something pink. And which one? What do you think? So we'll go over here. And
Oh,
look at-
wait, something blue,
Better.
something blue.
There's no blue. There's no blue in this one.
Ed, subject.
Well, pink was right. So ade, we'll go back. Ade yu ʼatángi. So if I go look at these pinks.
From your
ade-
mouth?
That one right there.
Uh,
So I gotta drag this over. And there's
Huh?
what's that?
Huh?
Yeah, right there.
Hmm.
Now, what do I, so here we'll go back to
subject.
subject, right? So there's no object, there's no conjugation stuff in this one. And which one am I going to grab? Here's 0, de, to, ha, yeah.
Eh.
So grab it, drag it over. What now?
Yeah.
Something purple?
Something purple. We got 16.
Purple over 500.
The 16 options, yes.
Yeah.
0.
Right?
But we'll go back here and we see ya,
Yeah.
ʼatángi.
Yeah.
So it is going to be ya.
Great.
We go up to ya.
Oh.
So for this one, now we get to this. So we built the prefix. These are all the things in the prefix. Ade, you, and here's the prefix right here. So this is the preverb. Now the prefix is iya. That's how you get iya, is ka plus I plus ya. For the stem variation, I want the lowercase ones that show what the stem is. And what is the stem?
Ton.
It's ton.
Ton.
So what, when my big focus here is what is the vowel? How would we describe it? So if we look through here,
Short and high.
yeah, I don't know if these are real tiny.
Close.
folks.
It's very tiny.
Sorry. So here is, this is long and high, long and low, short, high, and closed. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, get
That's the
away.
one.
Oops, now they're probably super tiny. Okay. Still trying to work this out. Okay, so now, ade yu ʼatángi. Yeah, so we've got that part. We've got this part. What comes next? We've got the stem. What comes after it?
Possessive marker? Where's that?
It's postposition.
Yeah, well, there's a suffix on there.
Ah.
Well, there's two suffixes on there. But we're going to look for the one that before it goes through a change.
Oh,
We
So it's
can't
not-
see our choices.
ʼatángi.
Let me go to the suffixes. There's a whole bunch. Here's aq and an. We'll go scroll through.
Okay. It's an
A K, an N, N. That's all of them. Did we see it?
go back. Isn't it the
Isn't it?
K?
It's K.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's one more.
Eh.
Eh. And so this is a little bit complicated. So let me.
What about the yeah? Shouldn't that be in the?
Well, that will come after the last suffix, though. So when you got ʼatángi, you've got a K and an I on there. And this I, so there's two different I or U suffixes for a verb. This one underneath is showing it can be low or high. But that is the relational suffix. That's what we use to say right, or stuff like that. But that is not what this one is.
We want the possessive.
This one, well, it's called the attributive.
Okay.
And so it says V, it is always low. So this one would be like yak t'áa.
Mhm.
Klushak at. Kaushawashli ukatash. Holy pants. So then this one goes under here. So now we've got the suffixes built, and then we're going to go look for the post verb, which is yeah. So we'll go down here.
What's that color? Is it green? Chartreuse?
Chartreuse.
Yeah. Or maybe it's tsechwaneyacheti. I was really,
Oh, that's definitely what it is.
I'm really like, I think I'm going to just stick with these colors because I'm pretty sure I've changed them all like 30 times each. But I think I'll try and stick with these so that we've got it. And then when we kind of zoom out, so this was the exercise, right? So these are all the parts that make up this single verb right there. ʼatángi. And it's a little bit clunky, like zooming in, zooming out, so many different parts. But there is going to be a board game, but I want to sort of run through it a few times to see, like, are there certain components? You can't put everything in there. But what I tried to do is pick the things that I think are the most common. And then there's a few of them that aren't that common, but I don't know. Any thoughts? I'm going to reset it and put
I
it.
feel like we're building the gloss.
Yeah, right. It's sort of it's a way to do it with sort of a drag and drop method.
You can't wait.
Anybody want to try a verb?
And you're going to make this game accessible to all of us?
Yeah. So this is like a test electronic version. And I'm going to try and figure out how I can make one that's easily shareable. And then there's going to be a board game with a physical, like, I just ordered the prototype. So once I make sure the prototype is all okay and see if we want to add anything to it or take anything away from it, then I'll just make it available for everybody.
So if you have the board game, is it like you have cards that are going to be the verb and then you do the translation yourself, or are you matching that or what?
They will be, so this will be like a board that folds out, and it should be,
Right.
I think it's pretty good size. And then these are 1-inch little cardboard squares, and they'll be color coded, and there's gonna be a nice little design on the back. And then you will be able to just put them in physically. But no matter, because it's Lingit, there's so many components, it's gonna be complicated because you're gonna have like 100 of these little tiles. So to start it, you're gonna have to probably make put them in little piles. And then this is what I was thinking, is I would take a verb like this. So we'll go here and we'll say, there's the verb. I don't want it to spell check for me. Okay, I'll try and figure that out later. But if I click out, it should be fine. So step one for me would be translate that verb for me.
He summoned me, or they
Yeah, they summoned me, right? Now, we can only have one person drive at a time, or else I think it's going to get too crazy. Anybody want to try and put the pieces on the board? You'll have to do it on your end, and I'll just keep this kind of here, but I might drift over to say it's over on this side. Anybody want to try it?
Can we do that on this screen, or do we have to go into chat and click that?
By clicking on that link that I sent you, that should maybe open a browser. There's also a Mural program that you could download, but if you're on the browser, you should be able to just click it and drag it over. So what would be the first thing we would go look for?
So I have a question first though. When you're in the browser, I get on the right-hand side, I have something that says my first idea, result, blah, blah, blah. That's like, just get rid of that, right?
Oh yeah, just ignore that. So I used a template, and so that there might be some things popping up on your end that I'm not seeing.
Oh, okay.
I'll try and find a blank one and do it over. So gonna cheat. What's the first thing we want to go grab here? I thought we did it. Okay. Yeah, there's hut. So
Oh my goodness.
That's really cool that you have it colored like that. I finally, at this moment, am starting to get what you're doing.
yeah, I think I had this idea. Well, I've been sort of color coding for a couple of years now, trying to figure it out. I got this idea from Joel Isaac and also from some, I think they were Mohawk speakers. I can't remember. We were in New York and I saw this presentation and a bunch of light bulbs were going off. And then over the weekend, I had this idea to make a board game. And then I started sort of fine tuning the colors and the concept. And then I stayed up really late for 4 nights in a row until I.
Now we know why you're exhausted.
Yeah. But okay, so when we get to the stem variation, I think I kind of want to ditch the capital letter ones.
Oh, okay.
It's fine, but what we're going to look for is lowercase c, v, v, c with no tone, because we're focused on the lowercase ones. The uppercase ones are showing us what the stem variation is as marked in the theme. So let's just not worry about that. Okay, we got that. But we need to. Okay, so after the object, what's going to come after the object? What's going to be the next thing we're going to go look for?
Oh,
The woo.
Yes. And what is that going to look like?
It's gonna.
Yeah.
It's going to be you. So you're going to go look for a gray one.
A gray one.
Go look for that one. Yeah. It's going to be the Y with the 2 dots over it and the U.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what the perfective marker looks like when it hasn't been changed by anything. What comes next?
Subject.
And what's the subject going to be?
Go.
Go look for a red one. And these, yeah, they're not, I guess when I do this sort of, when I continue to work on, I might organize them by first plural, second plural. But it just alphabetized them and I didn't have time to just start dragging them all around.
so, but it's
Not
First plural,
it's not-
and everything was on like the
Okay.
back of the card.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it could, or I could put little sort of letters. I'm trying to sort of maybe do this without the too much of the code looking stuff though.
Do?
It's not do. It's not do. So if we go up, if that was do, we would hear chat would de hoog. We would hear the do in there. So as we look at this, we should recognize this as they. That's a third person. The
So
third person subject is always and forever 0.
Zero.
It would make it so easy if we could just drag them up from down below the
Oh, okay.
column, you know?
I'll rearrange it so that you scroll down and you've got a long
yeah.
list going down. Okay.
Yeah. Or just make them the size they are.
you kind of have them already underneath, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where to put them, and so.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Mhm.
Oops.
I feel like I played a game before where you like click one of these down here, like the ha.
Uh-huh.
You can click it and drag the word, and then the word
Oh.
still stays there, but you can drag, that word.
Yeah, and that's
section.
Copy it.
this is sort of your little. You can look at the board and sort of ideally, you would. My goal is like all these things that are on there. You should know what every single one of them are and what they do.
Yep.
And we're not there yet. We're not there, but we're getting there. So there's one thing left. What's the one thing that's left on this one?
The stem.
Classifier.
Yeah. Someone put the stem in there. So the classifier. And we'll go back up when we got woohoo. What's our classifier here? I don't know if you guys hear this piano in the background.
0.
No, because it's
Yeah.
it's a positive perfective. So we also look at this verb and we're like, oh yeah, we did all these drills and all this other stuff. It's gotta be
Yeah.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
this is again back to this sort of y plus 0 plus ya is woo.
This woo. Mhm.
Yep. Hey. Cool. What's up?
So looking at this Lingit verb components, like you're saying, once we got all these down and understand what each and every one is, pretty much is that kind of like you would kind of know how the system of speaking actually works without too much thinking if you get to the point where you can do this without thinking about it?
Yeah, so here's my thought is that yeah, we run through this like, because we've been doing these like here's the rules of the perfective. Here's a perfective verb. Let's start changing a whole bunch of stuff. But now this is sort of like physical, and especially once we have the board, it's like, hey, everybody, put this verb together. Hey, take this verb apart. What are the pieces that are in there? And then we can have like a whole set and then a whole like answer key to kind of check your work too. And then we could challenge each other too. Like here's one way. So let me actually.
So will this, when you do this like this, and like if we did this with the one right now, and we completed, would it tell us we're correct or not?
No, that's the other thing is I'm going to start looking into, there's a few different educational platforms I could probably set it up on so that you can check your work. For now, this is just sort of like, I started watching all these videos. It's like, I don't have time to learn all this stuff, but I'll try and figure it out. And if people know, I can send you the images,
Yeah. Or I think you might be able to, I might be able to take a picture of the chart I made. And then at least I could show it to other people to see if they think I got it right.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
I think you could capture what you did. Physically, when I taught kindergarten and we had 4 different puzzles out, we marked the back of the puzzle pieces with a symbol so we knew which pieces went together. So we might think about that as making adapted versions of your game. This is like 6 months out.
Right.
But we can make it easier if we just said, here are the pieces, you get to arrange them.
Well, in the hard copy game, for the each verb would have a card, just like the one that you have the verb up above. And on the back of that card could be the translation and the answer.
Yeah, right. So it could sort of like, or you can have a little booklet that says, here's the verb, and then you try it, and then you turn the page and it shows you the translation, and then you turn the page and it shows you the answer to like putting this stuff together. So let me try it one more. Can folks put these things back? I thought I could just hit the undo button, but since I didn't do it, I can't undo it. It just undid my typing. And so I'm going to erase the verb and I'm going to put it in English. And I'm going to say, that's what I'm looking for. Let's change this up actually one more way. I'll say, you said it to me.
I said it to me.
You said it to me.
You were calm. You were calm. Yeah.
We're on track with the right verb. So now let's try, before we get to the Lingit up on top, let's try sort of figuring out what pieces need to be in there. Okay. So the verb is going to be this yausika type of verb, but there's usually one thing in the preverb whenever we use this one. So I'm looking for something right here. Yay, with a high tone, right? Not the low tone.
Yeah, yausika.
Someone go grab that high tone yay, drag it right here. What's the object going to be?
Me.
Me.
Oh, object. Yeah, that's right.
Somebody grab khat. Does it need a thematic prefix?
Yes.
Well, that would be if you're saying it to me right now. This is a kind of unusual verb. So when I would expect it to be something different in the perfective.
You said it to me.
Ak. Aquaka.
No,
Like
that's a
it's a cat.
person.
Oh no, yeah, it is different one.
Yawakar.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah is what I'd be looking for.
Which is in the
It should be pink. There it is. Cheesh. What goes in the conjugation?
Wo.
Yes. The y.
Yeah.
So that y goes in there. And if you did it, what's the subject?
Eh.
Yeah. And this is going to be, so there's yawaka and yausika. The difference between them is yawaka would be they said this, but yausika, they said this to them. So we want the S version. So what's the classifier going to be?
Se.
Se. Does anybody know what the stem should be?
Ka.
Ka. And what are the vowels doing there?
Long and low.
Long and low, because there's na conjugation open. It's got to be long and low. It's not a zero. Open, long and low.
And open.
Mm-hmm. So we're looking for lowercase
CVV.
CVV. We have just gone the other direction. So anybody? Okay, there's the yay. There's the khat. Oh, you program. Tell me how to spell.
Yausika.
Very close. But the ya plus the y plus the I plus the si. We're going to
Yausika.
Yaisika.
Yaisika.
Oh.
Hey. Okay.
This could be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So fresh off the old brain as of this last weekend. And so I'm trying this Mural program out, but it's going to have its limitations because it's kind of too interactive. Like everybody can do stuff. And so let's see. Yeah. And so you could do everything based on this. Like you could do, like, for example, here's what's the hortative for let it be. Let it be that way.
Yeti. Oh, what is it?
Let it be that way.
Okay.
Yinkati.
Yeti.
Paul McCartney away a hit. Maybe it was John Lennon. I don't know. It was Lingit first. I had this friend who's Chamorro, and he'd say, well, the Chamorro, we have this saying, let it be, right? And so he'd always quote like the Beatles. It was so funny. Okay, so you could do a hortative with this too. So for here, I'm just going to sort of move these things out of the way. So but that stays. Yay stays. That's got to go. That's got to go. That's got to go. That can actually stay the same. Yeah, thank you. Gunalchish for whoever's putting those back. Gunalchish. But now, what needs to be here for the hortative? I'm going to give you a big hint here. There is something right here in the blue. Because it is there. Because there's no subject, it'll always be just zero. But you can grab the 0 tilde A. That's that third person one, right?
Is it?
Yeah, so now there needs to be two things in the conjugation. Every hortative verb must have two things in this conjugation. It's going to have the conjugation prefix and qa mode. So those two have to be there. So we're going to go look for the gray ones. We'll put the gray na and then the qa in there.
Are we?
Then does that vowel drop out?
Yes, from na. But the other thing that I want to sort of figure out is like a visual that shows the ranking system of what drops out first. I think that'd be really useful too.
Okay.
And then I think I do need to add one more because I only have one qa there and there needs to be two. So I'll add another one. Because you can have qa conjugation and qa mode. So then we drag this one over, and then, because this would be the other thing that we could use is sort of, like we can use the switchboard, we can use these other things, but we can also use this to say these things have to be there, and so for a hortative, you must have the conjugation. I'll have to think about how to represent that. But I do think you could by just putting like those four up there and then qa. Like qa is the last thing. So this qa mode comes after all of them. So qa qasti. And then this is going to be, and then for the hortative too, it's like you have to pick from this minus I category. It has to be from there. And so we know this is yati, so it's going to be 0. So that's the last part. Is the classifier is 0, and now you've got yinqati.
This is helpful.
Vinny, would there be a way to show what things changed into? Like if you have like for nach to things like that?
Yeah, and I do think, so like thinking of how Zeosh has his tables, which are fabulous. Those were a game changer for me when he did that workbook. So I think one of the things that I could do is then sort of have a little booklet that goes with this that shows like this plus this plus this will equal that. Because we do have them. And so, for example, this Yain Qati, I'll show you in his prefix charts how to sort of look that up. So when you look at his prefix charts, it shows you this is both perfective and irrealis.
And pretty darn small.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'll zoom in. Once we get to the one I'm looking for, sorry.
Okay.
Then we get future, and then we get into what is going to be for the imperfectives. So you're going to get a 0, and then sometimes it's getting a little tricky too when you're going to have na in there. But and then you go ga and then qa. What we're looking for the hortatives is going to say, when we go down here and it says 0 and qa, that's going to be a hortative that's a 0 conjugation, right? So then we go down here, a hortative with na, and this is what we're looking for. We have a 0 classifier, so it is naqati, but when you have ye in front of it, it does knock out that vowel right here. So if you wanted to say, let it be blue, ishq, yach, naqati, then the naqati, it doesn't get contracted, but that ye in front of it, that's the one thing that does get tricky is if you have something in the preverb that ends with a vowel, is it'll start to trigger that contraction, Or if you were going to say, let them be that way, you would say ye yin qati. So it would also cause that to contract.
No, Emma Sam, her Lord's Prayer, or Waksani, She uses ye nagati for amen. Eh?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, and I've heard people say that too. So yeah, it's not like you cannot say that, but I think more common than not is it would contract. Sheesh.
And right now, this is I don't know what you call it. Is it an app or is it going to be available? Like, could this take Sudoku's place on my?
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Just have like because we could do like say we put it out there, and then we could say, okay, folks, here's the verb of the day. Break it down. You know.
Oh,
and
you know
so-
what? There is that one game that every day you can only do one game a day.
Wordle.
The Wordle.
Wordle. Yeah. Well, not that we'd only want to do one day game, but that would add a little, I don't know.
I think using this while you're teaching a conjugation or a pattern would be useful, because these are common linguistic terms that we use all the time for Lingit, and they're starting to feel familiar to us, and it explains why things are looking different. You know, all of a sudden it's like, but why? And you start to understand a little bit more of the, oh yeah.
So you know how like the New York Times has a crossword puzzle, and like the Friday one is the brain melter. So then like this could be the Friday verb. It's like that one.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we could put those components in there. So there's a klech and then the ade underneath it. Those would both be preverbs. This will be the last one we did. There's no object in this one. I'll give you that. But there is an a thematic. So we're looking for the pink a, the And what do you folks think? There's three things that need to be in the conjugation.
That closed one.
For the gray. If we go look at the grays,
Yes, looking at.
there's, let me,
0.
not the 0. There's a na in there. So we look at these. So somebody drag the na up there. So there's the na right there. If the ka contracts, it will always go to the underline X. Unless it's ka plus cha, then it becomes ka, but that's not what's going on here. So this underline X is the ka. So we're going to have to go na, ka. And for this verb mode, there's one more thing that needs to go there. And it's making this w sound, and it's not the perfective marker.
Is it Irialis?
It's the Irialis. So to build this mode, this, you know, this is the can't mode. Can't do it. No way to do it. It must have Irialis conjugation prefix mode. Those three things have to be in there. So that's another thing we could sort of show. It's just sort of like in this verb mode, you gotta add these things. And then the other thing is sort of like, I kind of done this. Here's the first one, second one, third one. I think I'm gonna have to do that in here too. First one, second one. So it is what you've got. Here's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. You could have, you know, there's 4 spots.
See if we could just poke on those down there and then they would pop up above. In the
Right. So maybe I need to get a hold like some kind of developer or something. So if someone could just drop the Irialis in here, it does go above the na. Right. So it comes after ga, but it's before 0, ka, and na. These ones are the conjugation prefixes. Then on this one, you have ka mode, or perfective. You can only have one or the other. So that's what we're getting here is na conjugation, qa mode, but irialis sits right up here. We're running out of time, or we are out of time. So the next thing you have is this is a third person. You'll learn how to spot it. You just will, because there's nothing there.
Yeah, because there's no subject.
Yeah. So this would be 0. In this mode, even though you have klesh in front of it, it always is plus I. This is we call it a potential. So if you ever want to do this, no way it could happen, can't do it. Klesh ade, irialis, conjugation, qa mode, plus I. So you're going to get di. It's long and low. It's got the attributive suffix that always stays low. And then yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the Friday puzzle. Even got Friday on Wednesday. Time travelers.
I think, as a teaching tool, while we're going through verbs, this is, for me at least, feels useful as far as getting the little parts that are the moving parts and the changes. I don't know if I'd like it as a game, but I like it as a tool.
Yeah, I think it is more of a sort of interactive, do these things at home. And if you don't like dragging things on a screen, then there'll be a physical version of it.
Yeah,
once we sort of figure out some stuff.
But once you get it so that we could just point and click, and then it pops over.
Yeah, and it goes to the spot where it belongs, and it goes
Yeah.
in the order that it,
Yeah.
it's doing a little bit of the work for you though. So, but that's okay.
You gotta like get points and lose points, right? If you put it in the wrong
Yeah.
spot.
Oh, right.
What the prizes are, really.
Well, yeah, and there's got to be like the hard buzz that comes out from like, what's that show? Family Feud.
Sound of flashing lights. Yeah.
May we have the English translation?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Does anybody? Let me pull it back up.
Renee,
Ah,
I found this on Facebook that you had posted, and just for fun, I clicked on it, and so then I was able to print this out. And of course, I'm going, now what? But even the idea of the color coding, it was just very helpful to me. So I'm going, oh yeah, okay, and those little green squares. So anyway, yeah, I found this on Facebook, guys.
yeah. I've been trying to share it as I've been sort of creating it, because I get excited and I try to tell people, and they're like, okay.
They're like verb conjugation. Oh yeah. Mhm.
Anyway, so I have all my little squares and everything, but I figured Yana 8 would figure out how to do this. And I
Okay.
thought, I'm going to print this out, see what she figures out. But anyway.
Anybody know the translation for this one?
Well,
no way will he stand.
That is the stand verb, right? So let's go check this out. So we'll go into.
Will he be able to stand?
Let's go.
Can I stand?
or go back from it.
Let's go to the verb.
Yeah, next to me.
We'll go to Han. And then the components we're looking for here is yeah, declassifier 0 plus D, Han,
Oh, yeah.
flee,
Won't be able to
run
get
from,
away.
turn back. There was no way he could escape, or they could escape. And these, I pulled some verbs from the t'áa story. So, and I'm also thinking of like just continually reshaping our curriculum. So there's a whole set of stories we just keep coming back to and keep trying to master everything that one particular story has to offer us.
Get away.
Great.
Shukudzi.
Like,
Tootsie.
Ijane.
yeah, I think February is when the game will be available. I might be able to just make it live now, but then if there's anything, I figure I'll wait till it's kind of more or less ready.
You can wait.
Yeah. So let me give you folks a bit of an assignment too.
We've been so good to you.
I know, that's why you get this. It's not a punishment, it's a reward.
Oh, it's an opportunity to learn.
So this is, and some of you might have seen it already. This is a film. I don't know a whole lot of information about it. I got it from Alaska Heritage Institute, and it's called
Yeah.
Tlingit Elders Belief.
Hello. Hi.
It's called what?
It's a good one.
Tlingit Elders Beliefs.
Okay.
And so here is the link. I will also put the link up on our class page tonight. I'll put the images for this board game up, at least the ones I shared on Facebook. So you could cut it out if you want, just using a paper cutter and do them by hand while we're sort of, and let me know if you have ideas on both how to arrange things and how, like the game, they're going to come with these little plastic and you just punch them out. So you'll punch out the little pieces, then you'll have them. And then it's there's no like bag to put them in. You just put them all back in the box. And so I'll see what that looks like. And then yeah, so check out that recording. And I think I don't remember how long it is.
Like 30 minutes. And then it loops again, I think, and plays another 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. It might be the same. Yeah, it looks like 2 hours long, but it might be the same video. So, but check it out. I haven't watched the whole thing, but there's quite a bit of Lingit in there from some folks from long ago. I thought it'd be just fun to listen to and then talk about it on Monday and also start getting back into some of this other stuff. We'll take a look at this thing again. We'll take a look at a few other verbs, and then we'll just keep going. English to Lingit, Lingit to English. And I'll have a prompt for Monday that'll just get us sort of, we'll talk in Lingit about what they're talking about. So there's your challenge for the weekend is watch the video, think about how you can talk about it in Lingit. We'll try to spend the first hour of class in Lingit talking about what they are saying. Eka.
Goodness, sheesh.
Sheesh. Eka.
Good class tonight. Thank you.
Ziagen.
Ziagen.
Trinkwat Kirsten Yishtin.
Johansu.
Goodness, sheesh.
Eka.
Hey, Lance, quick question. That software you're talking about, I can pay the monthly payment on or pay for the year. Is that through UAS?
No, it's just Adobe.